Hello, and welcome to Technique Talk, a new web series where I will be taking about 5 minutes to discuss one aspect of guitar playing. Today, we're going to begin with the concept of our seating position with the instrument. I thought that this would be a good spot for us to begin, since our seating position will dictate many things about our playing, and having a good seating position with our guitar will set us up for success in our studies. The first thing that we would want to talk about is our chair and how we're sitting in it. Whenever we're having a conversation about the joints, it's important for us to consider the concept of mid-range. Mid-range is when the muscles surrounding a joint are neither in considerable flexion or extension, but rather that the joint is allowed to be relaxed. When choosing a chair to practice or perform in, we would like to have one that allows for our knees to be in this mid-range, or more or less at a 90-degree angle. Once we have this, our legs and our knees are in a relaxed, neutral position, and we can move further up the body. An important part of our seating position with the guitar is the spine. The spine is integral to any conversation regarding posture, so it's something that we want to be aware of when we're considering our seating position. The spine can be thought of as running along a vertical axis that goes down the center of the torso. If we, when we're playing, bend to the left or to the right, we're moving the spine off of this axis and therefore out of its natural alignment. A good rule of thumb may be to say, if I wouldn't naturally sit this way, it may not be ideal. Additionally, we want to consider the spine's natural curvature when we're playing. The spine, instead of actually being perfectly straight, has a natural curve that goes at different parts of the back. If we are told to sit up straight, we tend to arch our back inward and put our chest out. While this might be considered good posture in modern culture, this is actually throwing the spine out of its natural alignment and something that we would like to be cognizant of. Another aspect that we would like to consider is the means by which we will be elevating our guitar. The traditional way of doing so is through the use of a footstool such as this one. However, there are many alternatives available, such as the ergoplay, A-frame guitar supports, the magnetic barnet guitar supports, lap pillow rests, as well as the guitar lift, which is the one that I currently use. Additionally, when we're looking at what we would like to use in order to elevate our guitar, we would like to consider the concept of mid-range as it relates to our knees, as well as any strain that might be put on our hip flexors as a result. Further, we want to choose a way to elevate our guitar that will allow our left hand to come up to the neck so that the wrist is in more or less a straight and relaxed position. One final aspect of positioning the guitar that we want to consider is how the guitar lies in relation to the body on a number of axes. The first and possibly most observable of all is the neck angle. A brief survey of guitarists will show us that the instrument is held in a wide variety of angles. Taking into account our conversation about the wrist and how it should approach the neck of the guitar, a suggested starting point that I have is one where the headstock is somewhere around eye level. However, this is merely a suggested starting point, and I encourage you to experiment with neck angles that you find comfortable. As we all have different anatomies, these points on guitar positioning are merely meant as a jumping off point for your exploration. Another axis that we want to consider with our guitar positioning is the tilt of the guitar. Figuring out the tilt of the instrument will help you in both your ease of playing and developing your field of vision on the instrument. If we go to one extreme and press the instrument all the way up against our torso, straight up and down, and we try to see the strings without craning our neck, we'll see that it's very hard to have any visibility of these strings. However, if we go the other way and set the guitar down facing straight upwards like a table, We can see all of the strings perfectly. However, this is going to be a very difficult position to play in. Therefore, I suggest that we find a position of where the guitar is tilted, where you can more or less see all of the strings without craning your neck, but we're not forcing our wrist into a state of flexion. I hope you've enjoyed this 5-minute lesson, and if you have, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel where I will be putting out videos regularly. I hope that you will join me for my next video on hammer-on slurs, and until then, this has been Technique Talk.